Welcome to PK Glitz, home of Jammie classes. We want to thank you for joining us today and also want to remind you to visit our website so that you'll really know what's up to date, what's hot, and what's going on. And we want to remind you to be sure and get to the store where you'll find a complete line of all the products that you'll need for the classes. We've got a wonderful line of projects, cards, all kinds of things lined up for you this season. So, without further ado, let's get started. I love the fall, and of course our first big holiday in the fall is Halloween. And I like the real fun cutesy stuff, and I tell you, you're just not going to find a cuter card than this one. It's one of the little pop-up cards, but in addition it's also got a wobble in it. I don't know if you've seen Wobbles yet or not, but they really are fun, and they just add 1,000% to your cards. I know you're going to love them. For this card, we're going to need cardstock in a couple of different colors. I've chosen the purple and the chartreuse green. You're going to need a wobble. Then you're also going to need a bone folder, embossing ink and powder, and your embossing anti-static brush so that we can do our little trims around the outside of the paper. Assorted stamps. Once again, we'll use our gold for that. We're going to use a little ritzy ditsy glitz in the gold just to give it a little bit of shimmer when we're all through. Obviously the tape. And then we're going to use one of our premium prints, our little frog in the witch's hat, and we're going to color it with our Spectrum Noir markers. Now the colors that I've chosen for this are FL3, that's for the little stars and the moons on the heart. 3 of the purples. I've got PL2, PL3, and PL4 for the hat. And then for the frog himself, I have LY2 and CG3. The Spectrum Noir markers are going to give us a lot of bright color on our piece, and I know you're going to really have fun with this one. Let's get started. Now, first thing we're going to do is color our frog, and we're going to use our Spectrum Noir alcohol markers. These are just a great lot of fun to use, and if you've done any alcohol pen work, you know what a value these are as well. Now, we'll start out with his little hat. So I'm going to take my 3 lighter colors here, and I'm going to do what I like to call a base color technique. We're going to start out with the lightest of the colors, and we'll just go ahead and do most of his hat. Remember to leave a little bit of an edge because your alcohol markers are going to bleed a little bit. So leave yourself just a little bit of an edge for that to bleed too. I want to try and get around but not color my little stars and moons and hearts and that as well. So I am leaving a little bit of a white edge here, and then I can go back and fill in anything I need to after a while. So we'll just see if we can't get most of this down. And I love coloring. I think we all do. It's a lot of fun. Reminds us of when we were little. And of course with the alcohol pens, the neat part of it is that you can blend those colors so nicely, so readily. Now that we've got that one down, let's go to our darker of our colors. I'm going to use my PL4, and we're going to start causing some shadow on our little hat. So we'll just come in here and bring in a little bit of shadow, and we'll do the same thing up in here. Just come right on up the hat. That sun will be in his little face, so we'll have a little bit of shadow on that back side, and maybe just a little bit under here. That looks good. Now let's go to that medium color, and between the two we'll just kind of pull all of this out. We'll give that just a little bit of a transition. That looks good. And a little bit up in here. Okay, now let's go back to that lightest one again, and this is where we're going to start blending our colors out. So let's just go from that very last color. We'll just keep blending until we're happy with that. And once again, remember what you're working on. It's really important. Alcohol ink does go through your paper. Now we are working on a premium blend 80-pound stock, so it is going through the paper. It's got to wick in order for it to really give us a nice blend. But when it does that wicking, of course, if you're working on something that's underneath, it will stain. So be really, really careful with that. Okay, I like that. That's looking pretty good. And then we can come back here, we'll just catch that little tiny edge of light that we left because we were afraid it might wick out. That looks good. He's got a little shadowed hat there. I like that. Now we're going to come back. We're going to use one of our really bright. This is our FL3. It stands for fluorescent. And we're going to take that and go over the little moon. Finish that last little star there. There we go. That looks good. That's fun. Now let's go on to his little body. And once again, we're going to do the base color technique. Now, I'm going to go ahead and cover most of his little body with this LY2. And we'll come over, but I want to leave just a little bit of white spot too. Right here under his chin, I want to leave a nice white spot because that's going to be a little bit of a sunshine area for me. And then I'm going to go ahead and go on up the rest of his little body here with this. And then we're going to go back with our other color, and that's going to be kind of our shadows and our nice little fill-ins. So we'll just come in, leave his little eyes nice and bright white all the way along. And we'll catch all those little wrinkles, all those little shadow places. We'll do all of that with our CT color. There we go. Now, get a hold of this CT3. Get that bullet end, and now's when we can start adding in those shadows and those real little fun green looks that make him the little green froggy that he is. And we'll just come down and catch a little shadow there and a little color. Same thing here. Wherever there's shadow on the picture, go ahead and use it. That's a good part of having a picture that's already got shadows and things built in. Okay. And we'll come back up. Let's give him a little bit more color right around his little legs and around his little body. All over his little body. There we go. That's looking good. Now let's go back with that lighter one and we'll just start kind of blending those two colors together. So let's just come in now. Just kind of pull some of that color together. Just soften those lines a little bit. Same thing up here. Just keep pushing that color out till you get it just about the softness that you'd like for it to be. Bring that color on in. Oh, isn't he going to be fun? Now, this is just going to be the best Halloween frog we've seen. And I was really tickled when I saw the new Wobbles, because the two of these I just put together real quickly. And I thought, boy, Wobbles and Frog in the Witch's Hat just doesn't get any better than that. Okay. Now, that's going to take just a little minute or two to dry. That's okay. And while he's drying, we'll go ahead and work on our folded paper piece. Alright, now when we're working with our paper pieces, what we've done, we've cut a square 8 inches by 8 inches, then we've cut a smaller square 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. This is going to be the back of our card. To get the pop-up fold that we have there, we do just a couple of very simple folds. First, we're going to fold it right half in two, and your bone folder will really help you there. Then we're going to open it up, and we're going to turn it right back over and fold it half in two again the other way. There we go. Get our bone folder once again. Give us a nice crease. Then one time only, we're going to fold it up to the point. So we're going to come up here, match that point as closely as you can. Come back down once again with your bone folder. Clean that up. Then we're going to go back just like this. So half of it is going to go back. Touch that fold. And there we have it. So this is what we're looking at right here. Now what we're going to do though is we're going to end up pushing these pieces inside, folding them the other direction. So when you do that, then you lay it down. We'll go back over with our bone folder one more time, all the way around, and that gives us the little pop card that we're looking for. Okay, now from this point on, we're going to add a little bit of embossed design on there. So let's get our embossing tools out and we'll start working on that. Alright, now I have several fun little stamps here. The first one I'm going to use is going to be my spider web, and I'm going to do a little lacy edge all the way around my piece. So I'm going to start over here with my embossing ink, and I'm just going to, about half of my spider web, I'm going to stamp all the way along. Get down here to the end. We'll just kind of come around the corner just like so. And you can stop periodically if you like. Add your powder. Of course, we're using powder cake embossing powder. This is the gold. Just let the extra just kind of slide off. That's what we're going to be heating now. So let's take that to the side. Get out our heat tool. And go ahead and heat our piece. Again, let it warm up for just a second before you get started. And then heat your piece. Sometimes I'll do this in sections, and sometimes if it's a smaller application, I might go ahead and embellish and then heat the whole thing at one time. It just depends on how large my piece is. But this is a pretty good sized piece, so if we do this in sections, that'll work out just fine. Yeah, that part's done. I would just go back to my little stamp, and I would just continue on all the way around. Now we don't need to take a whole lot of extra time doing that because we've already got a piece finished right here. We've got our lacy pattern all the way around the edges. Now we're going to do a little bit of decorating. It's going to end up with this folded like so, and that going down. So let's think how we would like to decorate the inside of that. Little froggy now is going to be right here. Now I think I've got a fun little ghosty here. He's just got to be used. And of course I've got a Happy Halloween and I've got an eek. So let's turn around and see what we can do. I think that I would like for my ghost to be right behind little froggy. So I'm going to come in here once again with my embossing ink. We'll get him all nice and done. A little ink all over him. And we'll put him right here because that's going to be right behind Froggy. Just pressing down real good. Then we'll come back. Oh, he's going to be fun. I can already tell. And we're going to get a little bit of our powder. Just drizzle that on. Excess goes away. And then we're going to come back over and we will heat him. In this case, I am going to heat them as I go along because I don't want to take the chance of knocking the powder off as I'm going on to another section of the card. So I'll just go ahead and heat him, and that way I'll know he's done and ready. Just that quick and easy. And then, let's see, what else? Oh, we're going to have an eek on there. So let's grab our little eek here. We'll just put that over here to the side. That should grab some attention. And once again, a little bit of our powder. Tap away the excess. And we will heat again. Alright, remember M&M, melt and move. When it melts, you move. There isn't any such thing as glossy-er. Now, let's go to the Happy Halloween. Get him nice and inked as well. We'll put him right up here in the center. Oh, there we go. That'll get a lot of good attention. And then we'll come back one more time with the powder. Extra falls away. Just get that out of our way now. And back to the heat. And our embellishments with our powder are going to be done. Just that quick and easy. Now we've got that portion of our card put together. It's going to be like this, okay? So when he opens up, ooh, that's going to be fun. But now we need to go ahead and get our little froggy. I'm sure he's dry by now. Cut him out, get our wobble, and put the whole thing together. Now, one other thing I wanted to add on Froggy, and I didn't tell you about this, I was remiss in it, but I think it's a little bit of pizzazz, it's kind of fun. We're going to take our Quickie Glue pen, and right here where the little stars are, and the little moons on his hat, I'm using some of my Sunshine Translucent Glitz, and we're just going to put a little bit of that right on top. That's going to add a little bit of flash that I think will really be fun. We'll take anything excess and just let it go right there on our paper. Give it a little tap. And the neat thing about the glue pen and the Glitz is that it's dry within a minute. You don't have several minutes that you have to wait for that to dry. Now we are going to want to cut our little froggy out. Didn't he turn out cute? I just think he's darling. We're going to go ahead and cut our little froggy out, and you don't need to cut really close detail. It's what I call soft cutting. We just kind of get close. If we can get close all the way around, that's going to be fine when we get to our little project add-on here. And then we'll see where we would like to place him on our card. There we go. Now I might cut just a little bit more out of that little corner there. And the same thing. That looks good. I think he's going to be just fine. Maybe just a teeny bit more right in through here. There we have it. Now, once we've got him cut out, we're going to place him on our card. And of course, he's going to go right here to the front. And he'd be cute just like that. But we can't get by without that wobble. That wobble is just a darling thing. So we're going to grab this. I'm going to try and do this upside down so that you can see what I'm doing as I do it. There is a top and a downside on the little wobble, so you want to be sure that you're getting that correct. And I found that the easiest way was to go ahead and apply it, in this particular instance, to the card first. You just peel off that little backing, and then we'll put that directly onto our card, primarily because the card has a lip here. We don't want to put it over that lip. So I'm going to come right up to the lip and sort of center it, just like so. Okay? Then we'll go back and we will peel this little business off of our card here. And then that way, all we've got, whoops, that almost got away from me. All we've got left to do is add our little froggy. So we'll just center him right over there like so. Whoops, we'll be sure his little feet are on there right. Okay. Center him on just like so. Now, we've not only got a great pop-up card, but we've got a great pop-up card that wobbles. Isn't that cute? It just doesn't get any better. Now the last thing we need to do on that is actually put it on our little backing. Just another little bit of color, but I think we'll finish off our card very nicely. So let's take a little bit of our double-sided sticky tape. I'm just going to run a quick edge of this all the way around the outside edge of the little card. Once again, remember our tape is that wonderful paper core, so tears very readily. We don't have to get the scissors out every time we want to get our tape. All the way around the edge. That's just tearing all kinds of ways for me today. That's okay. We'll use every little bit. Right down there, once again, right across here. And let's just put an extra piece right across the middle, just for strength. Mechanics are very important. We want to be sure we have a nice strong piece put together. Okay, now we'll just peel away all the little papers. Okay, now we're just going to center that, and I need to kind of look at him to do this, so we're going to center that right over our little card area. Give it a nice push, and that adds a little more strength and a little more color. And I tell you, is that not cute? I just think that is darling. And when he opens up, woo, look who's behind him, Mr. Ghost, with our eek and our happy Halloween and everything. And when he's closed, he wobbles. Eek! I almost forgot. We've got to give him a little spritz. Let's get out our Ritzy Ditzy Glitz and add just a little bit of fun. This is going to give our paper just a nice glitzy look, and it's going to add all kinds of fun to the rest of our card. Thank you for joining our Jammie class today. Wasn't that fun? Be sure to go to the website and join our email family. As email family members, you'll receive Jammie class updates, coupons, new product information, and much more. We look forward to seeing you again next time.